Buckle up, everyone, because today we're taking a deep dive into the world of Daryl Anka and the entity he channels, Bashar.
And you know our source material today.
Oh, yeah, we're diving deep into this really fascinating YouTube documentary all about their experiences and the messages that come through Bashar.
I gotta say, when I first heard about this documentary, I was a little bit skeptical.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like all the other UFO documentaries.
Yeah.
You know, the ones that are all about spaceships and conspiracy theories.
Right, right.
But this one is different. It goes way deeper. It actually connects channeling with scientific analysis.
Mm-hmm.
And Bashar's perspective on advanced civilizations is just mind-blowing.
It definitely goes beyond the typical alien stuff. And right away, they tackle this question, what is channeling?
Yeah.
And they present it as this natural altered state, like something we can all experience in different ways.
You know, it's like, think about those times when you're completely absorbed in something.
Mm-hmm.
Like an athlete in the zone or an artist who's just completely lost in their creative flow. Channeling is presented as a heightened form of that same connection.
And they use Daryl Anka's story to illustrate this. I mean, he starts out as a total skeptic.
Yeah.
He goes to this channeling class just out of curiosity, not really expecting anything to happen.
But then during a guided meditation, he has this powerful experience, this telepathic contact with Bashar.
Wow.
And he even remembers a past life agreement to channel this entity. And get this, another student in the class starts sketching an image of Bashar.
No way.
And it ends up being a perfect match to what Daryl was seeing in his mind.
That's crazy. It's like something out of one of those Ripley's Believe It or Not stories.
Right. It's definitely one of those things that makes you go,
Yeah.
And it really makes you think about the nature of consciousness. You know? Like, are we really tapping into something beyond our normal senses?
That's a big question. And the documentary doesn't shy away from it. They actually bring in a neuroscientist, Dr. G.D.J. Hurt, to study Daryl's brain activity during channeling.
Yeah.
So what did she find? Was there any, measurable evidence that something unique was going on?
Oh, yeah. Her findings were pretty remarkable.
Okay.
She observed significant changes in Daryl's brain waves while he was channeling Bashar, including an increase in processing speed and the presence of gamma frequencies, which are often associated with higher states of consciousness.
Whoa. Okay, so there's actual scientific evidence to back up these experiences. That's pretty amazing.
It is. It adds a whole new layer to the conversation.
Yeah.
It challenges us to consider alternative explanations for these experiences.
Yeah.
That maybe there's more going on than we realize.
For sure. So now that we've touched on channeling, let's talk about the entity himself, Bashar.
Yeah.
Who is he? Where does he come from?
Well, according to the documentary, Bashar is an extraterrestrial entity.
Yeah.
And he's from a civilization called Essassani.
Essassani.
Yeah.
Ah.
And he describes himself as a messenger with a very unique perspective. And from what I've heard, he's got a pretty good sense of humor, too.
Yeah, I've heard that too. That he's kind of a jokester. So is there anything in Daryl's past that maybe hinted at this connection with Bashar?
Well, he does talk about this childhood experience.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He remembers seeing this swirling whirlpool of light, like almost like a portal.
Whoa.
And he felt like he was receiving a message from it. Then a few years before the channeling class, he actually had a UFO sighting with some friends.
No way. What did they see?
He saw this mysterious triangular craft with lights at each corner.
Okay, that's starting to sound like a classic UFO story.
Right. But it makes you wonder, could those early experiences have been connected to Bashar somehow?
Yeah, like maybe they were preparing him for this channeling connection.
Exactly. It's like those events were planting the seeds for his later journey.
But how does the actual channeling process work? Like, does Bashar somehow possess Daryl?
That's what I wonder, too. It does sound a little spooky, right?
Yeah.
But Bashar makes it clear that it's not about possession at all. He describes it more as a vibrational alignment, like a syncing of frequencies.
So like two tuning forks resonating at the same pitch.
Exactly. It's about harmony and connection, not control.
Okay, that makes sense.
And during the channeling process, Daryl's breathing changes. He experiences this wave of emotions. And then Bashar's energy comes through.
That's wild.
Daryl describes it as feeling like he's coming home, like a
Yeah.
sense of deep belonging.
Wow. That's a really powerful image. It sounds like a profound experience.
Absolutely. So we've talked about channeling, we've talked about Bashar, but what about those classic alien figures, the Greys?
Yeah, I'm really curious to hear what Bashar has to say about them.
Oh, he's got some fascinating insights.
Okay.
He paints this really interesting picture of their origins and how they connect to his civilization.
Okay.
It's kind of a cautionary tale, actually.
Oh.
He describes them as the descendants of this technologically advanced civilization.
Mm-hmm.
but they lost touch with their humanity.
Oh, wow.
They focused so much on logic and intellect that they ended up suppressing their emotions. And eventually they lost the ability to reproduce.
That's kind of scary, actually. It's like the ultimate consequence of neglecting our emotional and spiritual sides.
In a way,
Yeah.
yeah. And in a desperate attempt to survive, they genetically modified themselves into the beings we know as the Greys.
Oh, wow. So they're like a shadow of their former selves.
Right. But they still needed viable DNA to try and reintroduce emotions into their species.
And that's where those stories of alien abductions and DNA extractions come in.
It's definitely a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
But Bashar presents it as a desperate act of survival on the Greys' part.
Wow. So how does Bashar's civilization, the Essassani, fit into all of this?
Well, they're actually a hybrid civilization, a blend of human and Grey DNA.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. They represent a new chapter in the story,
Okay.
an attempt to heal the wounds of the past and create a more balanced and harmonious civilization.
So they're trying to correct the mistakes of the past to find that balance between technology and emotion logic and spirituality.
Exactly. And their story is full of fascinating details about their home world, their advanced technology, and their unique perspective on life in the cosmos. But I think we need to pause here for a moment
Yeah.
and let all of this sink in. What are your initial thoughts on all of this?
I mean, honestly, it's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But the thing that really stands out to me is this idea of the Essassani as this hybrid civilization.
Yeah.
They've taken the best of both worlds, so to speak. They live on a planet that's in its natural state. Their spaceships are like cities, and they have this incredible technology that allows them to travel vast distances almost instantaneously.
I remember Daryl's dream where he was on Bashar's ship.
Oh, yeah.
It was made of this crystalline material, and the ship itself was artificially intelligent, like telepathically linked to the pilot.
It's like something straight out of science fiction.
Right. But how does it work? How is any of this possible?
That's the million-dollar question.
Well, Bashar claims they travel by changing an object's locational variable in its energy signature.
Okay, that sounds...
It's pretty mind-boggling.
I know. Yeah, a little beyond my understanding.
But maybe our current understanding of physics is just scratching the surface of what's truly possible.
That's a good point. But if they have this technology and they can travel to Earth,
Okay.
why haven't they made open contact with us yet? Why all the secrecy?
That is the question, isn't it? And Bashar does have some very interesting insights on that. But I think that's a conversation for the next part of our deep dive.
Okay, so we'll leave everyone hanging with that cliffhanger.
For now.
But we'll be back soon to delve into Bashar's perspective on why contact hasn't happened yet and what we can do to prepare for this new era of connection.
It's going to be fascinating. Stay tuned.
All right, so last time we left off with that big question.
Yeah, the big one.
Why haven't these advanced civilizations made open contact? What's the deal? What does Bashar say about that?
Well, he explains it as this matter of vibrational compatibility.
Okay.
He says a high-frequency civilization like his can't just suddenly interact with a fear-based society like ours.
Right.
It'll cause major disruption.
So it's not that they're intentionally hiding from us. It's more like we're not quite on the same wavelength yet.
Exactly. It's like trying to force two gears together that are spinning at different speeds.
Yeah.
They would just grind against each other and strip.
Ouch. Yeah, that makes sense.
Bashar actually compares Earth to an insane asylum,
Whoa, okay.
which might sound harsh.
Yeah, a little bit.
But his point is that forcing contact before we're ready could be detrimental.
Yeah, I can see that. It'd be like trying to cram a square peg into a round hole.
Exactly. Things that could get pretty messy.
Sure.
He suggests that contact has to happen gradually
Okay.
through the dissemination of ideas and information, to allow for integration and prevent a collective freakout.
Right, so it's more like a gentle nudge in the right direction
Yeah.
rather than a full-blown cosmic intervention.
Exactly. And Bashar believes the key to raising our collective vibration is pursuing our passions,
Okay.
acting on our highest excitement.
It's like we need to tune our individual antennas to a higher frequency
That's a great analogy.
before we can pick up the signals from these advanced civilizations.
Exactly. And to help us with that, Bashar offers some tools and guidance.
Oh, okay, like what?
Well, he lays out what he calls the 5 laws of creation.
The 5 laws of creation.
Yeah, they're like the fundamental principles of existence.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay them on me. What are they?
All right, so the first one is you exist.
Okay.
Number 2, everything is here and now. 3, the one is the all and the all are the one.
Okay.
4, what you put out is what you get back.
Mm-hmm.
And 5, everything changes except the first 4 laws.
Whoa. Okay, those are some pretty profound statements packed into just a few words.
Right.
But how do those actually relate to us? Like, how can we use them in our everyday lives?
Well, Bashar explains that these aren't like the laws of physics. Those
Mm-hmm.
can change from dimension to dimension.
Mm-hmm.
These are the fundamental laws of existence itself.
Okay.
True for everyone, everywhere, always.
So it's like having a cosmic instruction manual for how to create a better life and a better world.
Precisely. And one of the key concepts that Bashar emphasizes is that physical reality is a reflection of our state of being.
Okay.
He uses this analogy of a mirror.
Okay.
If you want to change the reflection, you don't change the mirror, you change what's being reflected.
That makes a lot of sense. So if we want to change our reality, we need to change our internal state,
Exactly.
our thoughts, beliefs, emotions.
Precisely, Bashar reminds us that we are powerful creators,
Okay.
constantly manifesting our reality whether we're aware of it or not.
Wow.
So the key is to become more conscious of this power and start manifesting what we truly desire.
It's like we're all artists painting the canvas of our lives with our thoughts and beliefs.
I love that analogy. And Bashar provides some practical tools to help us with this creative process.
Okay, like what?
One of them is the rubber band analogy.
The rubber band analogy.
Yeah, imagine pulling a rubber band back further and further
Oh.
into darkness.
Mm-hmm.
The further you pull it back, the more potential energy you build up.
Right.
When you finally let go, it flies forward with incredible force.
So even our darkest experiences can be a catalyst for growth and transformation,
Exactly.
propelling us forward with greater momentum.
Instead of seeing negativity as something to fear or avoid, we can choose to view it as an opportunity
Yeah.
to learn, grow, and ultimately create something even more beautiful and expansive.
It's like turning a perceived weakness into a source of strength.
Exactly. And Bashar encourages us to shift our focus from what we lack to what we want to create.
Okay.
He says that lack is simply an abundance of something else.
Interesting.
Now, if you feel like you lack confidence, you might have an abundance of self-doubt.
So it's about reframing our perspective and cultivating an abundance of the qualities we desire.
Absolutely. And this ties back to the idea of conscious creation.
Okay.
By changing our internal state and beliefs, we can create a reality more aligned with our desires.
It sounds like Bashar's teachings are all about empowering us to take control of our reality and become the best versions of ourselves.
He is definitely all about empowerment. He encourages us to act on our highest excitement.
Okay.
He even calls excitement our compass needle,
Oh, wow.
pointing us towards our true north.
So if something excites us, if it lights us up, that's a sign we should pursue it.
Exactly. It's about aligning with your true purpose and allowing your excitement to guide you toward a life of fulfillment and joy.
And when you do that, Bashar says the universe conspires to support you.
He talks about the complete kit.
The complete kit.
Yeah, he says when you act on your highest excitement, the universe provides you with the resources, the opportunities, the synchronicities to help you manifest your dreams.
Okay. Now that's where it starts to sound a little too good to be true.
Right.
Does it really work that way?
Well, the documentary shares stories from people who have experienced positive shifts in their lives by applying Bashar's principles.
Okay.
They talk about amazing synchronicities and unexpected opportunities appearing just when they needed them.
So it's like the universe becomes your co-creator, guiding you along your destined path.
Beautifully put. And Bashar emphasizes that it's not about forcing things or controlling outcomes.
Okay.
It's about surrendering to the flow of life and trusting the process.
You know, this is all sounding very spiritual, almost mystical.
Yeah.
Are there connections between Bashar's teachings and traditional spiritual practices?
Definitely. Like the concept of what you put out is what you get back.
Right.
It's similar to the law of karma in Eastern traditions.
Okay. Yeah.
And his emphasis on the power of belief aligns with many spiritual teachings.
So it's not just about channeling aliens and spaceships. It's
Wow.
about tapping into a deeper awareness and a more spiritual understanding of ourselves and the universe.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is how Bashar connects preparing for extraterrestrial contact with learning to communicate with dolphins.
Wait, dolphins? How do they fit into all of this?
Bashar suggests that learning to communicate with dolphins, another intelligent species on Earth, can be valuable practice for communicating with extraterrestrial beings.
Okay, that's a really intriguing idea.
Right.
But do dolphins really have a language? I mean, it's not like they're talking to us in English.
Right, but the documentary features this scientist from the SETI Institute,
Okay.
and they present evidence that dolphins have a complex communication system.
Interesting.
They've observed patterns similar to human language.
Really?
Yeah, including what's known as Zipf's law.
Zipf's law. I'm not familiar with that one.
It's this mathematical principle that describes the frequency distribution of words in human languages.
Okay.
And dolphin whistles follow a similar pattern.
Wow. So we might be sharing the planet with another intelligent species that we just haven't figured out how to understand yet.
It's definitely a possibility. And Bashar believes that by learning to bridge the communication gap with dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
we can develop the skills and understanding necessary to connect with other intelligent beings,
Okay.
whether they're from the ocean or from the stars.
I see. So it's about expanding our awareness and recognizing the potential for connection with other forms of intelligence, both here on Earth and beyond.
That's the heart of it. And this leads us to the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore practical ways to apply these principles and prepare for this exciting new era of contact and connection.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Channeling alien civilizations, even dolphin communication.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
So now for the big question, how can we actually prepare for this new era of contact? Like, what can we do right now?
Well, it's interesting because Bashar doesn't really give us a step-by-step plan.
Okay.
He emphasizes that the path to contact is a personal journey,
Right.
unique to each individual.
So it's not about following some set of rules, but about finding our own way to connect with this cosmic shift.
Exactly. And remember how Bashar talked about acting on your highest excitement?
Yeah.
That's where it all starts. What truly lights you up? What are you passionate about?
It's about finding that inner spark, right?
Exactly.
Like sense of purpose that makes you feel truly alive.
And when you align with that excitement, you create this ripple effect. You attract like-minded people, you inspire others, and you contribute to raising the collective consciousness.
It's like our individual actions, no matter how small, can contribute to a larger transformation.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Like the butterfly effect, but on a cosmic scale.
And Bashar reminds us that we're all interconnected, right?
Yes.
Part of a web of life that extends far beyond our planet.
So preparing for contact isn't just about waiting for spaceships.
Okay.
It's about creating a world worthy of contact,
Mm-hmm.
a world based on love, compassion, respect for all life.
It's about becoming the best versions of ourselves, not just for our own sake, but for the sake of all humanity and the future of our planet.
And Bashar suggests that contact with other civilizations could actually accelerate our evolution.
Really?
Yeah, help us solve global challenges, inspire us to create a more peaceful and prosperous future.
That's an amazing thought. Imagine a future where we see ourselves not as separate nations, but as citizens of a galactic society united by our shared humanity.
It's a beautiful vision. And the first step towards that future is recognizing that contact has already begun.
It has.
Yeah, it's happening through channels, through the spread of ideas, through the expansion of consciousness, and through our growing awareness of our interconnectedness.
So it's not about waiting for some big dramatic event. It's about opening our minds to the possibility that we're already connected, that we're not alone.
Bashar reminds us that the universe is always responding to our vibration.
Okay.
The more we align with love, joy, excitement, the more we'll attract experiences that reflect those qualities.
It's like we're being invited to step into our power and co-create a future more incredible than we can even imagine.
As we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave you with one final thought-provoking question from Bashar.
Okay, lay it on us.
If we can learn to communicate with an intelligent species on Earth that's so different from us, like dolphins, what does that tell us about the possibilities of communication with extraterrestrial beings?
Wow, that's a powerful question. It really challenges us to expand our understanding of intelligence and connection.
And maybe it hints at a future where we can move beyond our current limitations and embrace a new era of unity and understanding.
A future full of hope and wonder. And who knows, maybe our galactic neighbors are out there waiting for us to tune in.
Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, and keep your hearts open to the infinite possibilities of the universe.
And remember, the future isn't something that happens to us, it's something we create together. So let's create a future worthy of contact. A future that reflects the best of humanity and the boundless love and wisdom of the cosmos.
Keep exploring and keep shining your light.
Thank you so much for being here. Please like and subscribe for more reality-altering deep dives.